When it comes to media reactions to Donald Trump's victory Tuesday night, becoming the 47th president of the United States of America, well, of course, the coup de grace was the girls on The View, the Walt Disney Company ABC show The View. And yes, we're going to rip it apart. Renegade Online. Let's get to the
Sure. Oh, I hate Sunny. Can I say I also hate Sunny?
Yeah, it's like
I don't hate Whoopi.
There's an entertainment factor there.
So what happened last night? Anybody do anything interesting? Okay. The 2024 presidential race ended yesterday. And this is what the country and the world woke up to this morning. Take a look.
This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
So, how you feel? I'll start.
What I wonder is, and they all gave some very measured responses, and this is the point. I wonder how long it took them to compose themselves enough to get through this, because they were screaming the night before.
I think Trump right now has more power than when he was elected the first time.
Yeah, I do too.
And so they're being very circumspect.
I vehemently disagree with the decisions that Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country, and And they all kind of gave very, very similar answers, which I found, to be fair, slightly suspect in that regard. But
that's a silly statement in of itself. America didn't make the decision. Individual Americans made the decision.
Yeah.
It's a very, nothing's a monolith.
Yeah.
That this is one of the problems that we are suffering from right now, is that all Latinos are the same, all blacks are the same, all Jews are the same. Like this,
right.
Everything's monolithic. We just aren't.
I don't know. I'm profoundly disturbed. We know now that he will have almost unfettered power. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter.
This multimillionaire, this woman who does not have to work a day in her life. I am worried about my children's future. Is she intimating that stormtroopers now are going to be breaking into her house and taking her children away? What is it she's intimating? Oh my God!
They probably. A lot of them believe this stuff.
Oh, she is such a bullshit generator.
This is. I was having discussions with people on X the other day about this, or late last night when the race was done, and I'm like, yeah, look, I have two daughters and a son. My oldest two daughters are 19 and 17 years old. One in college, one is a junior in high school. And their reaction to me was that some people on X, I don't want to name names here, but how can you vote for Trump when you have daughters? And I'm like, what the hell does that even mean?
Well,
I'm like,
you know what they're referring to.
No, well, yeah, I know, but I'm like, this is not the end all be all. By the way, my 17-year-old daughter especially is a huge Trump fan, huge MAGA kid, has been for years. She's just like the guy, and a lot of her friends do too. And this is what enrages some of these people, that they cannot comprehend these people, these Hollywood people here, because the girls on The View, these are Hollywood people. These are Disney's people, right? They represent everything that Hollywood thinks and believes. It is The View is the rectum for where all the crap that Hollywood this is the blowhole, okay? This is where it all farts out.
who now has less rights than I have. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have.
And what does she mean by
I'm
that?
profoundly disturbed.
Can you translate that? I mean, like, do you know what she's talking about?
My daughter has less rights than I have because my daughter won't be able to oof her child.
Right.
That's what they're going for.
I could have ooped my child.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, you know what? I could go back in time, oop my child. That's the kind of rights that I want. My daughter ain't having those rights no more. She can't oop for a child anymore. I'm doing my Kamala Black side of my, you know.
She had so many accents.
14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated, profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution has less rights than I have.
Here we go.
Again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States.
Again, look, guys out there in Hollywood, you chicks on The View, the election's over. You can stop with the lies, okay? You've been selling this load of crap for 4 years now. Whether you think January 6th was an insurrection or not, don't even need to debate that to talk about what she just said. The notion that Trump was involved when he's literally on camera saying, no, nobody go over there. Nobody go do that. Don't go do that. Peaceful. We're not. I mean, he's on camera saying it, but again, they conveniently forget this, and they want to.
Well, it's also like the Charlottesville quote.
Oh yeah, the fine people thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which they endlessly replay without like showing the entire quote.
The Liz Cheney thing was the same thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm just trying to deal in the truth of things. I frustrate some of my friends because I say I don't shoot the messenger. I listen to what they have to say, even if I'm not a big Trump fan. But the thing is, you take different things at face value, and you have to deal with the truth as it comes to you. You shouldn't be manipulating the truth just because you've got an agenda. I find that monstrously offensive. So you can say, I don't like that individual, but he also didn't say what he said, what you're claiming he says. I think you can do that.
Yes.
These people can't do that. That is what's bad.
No. And to the point now where they actually believe their own bull crap.
Of course.
And that's what's even really scary.
And the other thing, too, is Hollywood has never cared about middle America. Ever. And it's just coming out. It's almost, is there such a thing as racism towards middle America?
Classism, I guess you could call
classism,
it.
Yes, I think that.
Yes, we'll go with that.
I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off. And I think our health.
By the way, about that, they're really not going to like what's going to happen, I think, in the not too distant future when the New York State Appellate Court takes those 34 felony convictions and hucks them right out the window.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, really? Here's the deal with that, if you don't know about this one, Paul. So the New York State Appellate Court, or the Appellate Court in New York, that heard the appeal from the Trump folks about the convictions. We don't know what their decision is. I make that very clear. We don't know what the decision is. But the appeals hearing was September 24th, 25th, whatever, like a month and a half ago. They heard the case. Transcripts from it came out. Comments from the judges, the questions that were asked, was this. They did not. They said that they weren't going to make a decision until after the election was over, which was a little frustrating. I understand why, in some sense, they want to do it because they don't want to have an impact on the election, number one. But the lower court ruling with the 34 felony convictions was the impact on the election. Whatever the appeals court is going to do would hopefully be corrective action in that case. But the judges were basically asking things according to the reports, like, has anybody ever been prosecuted or convicted for this before? And what laws exactly was this based on? And I'm paraphrasing.
Sure.
And then who was injured in this? We had, two parties enter into a business agreement
So what's happened with Trump's legal team? Because I specifically remember that after 2020, and he lost, his entire life was this bizarre zoo, whether it's allegedly keeping classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago place, the lawyers that he hired, that one woman who eventually got disbarred, Giuliani. Like, to me, again, this is just the feeling of the noise. It felt like a circus around him, and not a competent circus.
He didn't always
happen. Like, I know all sorts of different accusations have been dropped, and things like this that you're talking about now might be dropped. Who's taken? Has he suddenly gotten a whole coterie of competent people to?
I think there's a combination, Paul, of, in some cases he trusted the wrong people when he first got elected, and I don't think he's going to make that same mistake again. And then secondly, a lot of the people that he did select were, in many cases, almost or as targeted as he was by the media, and designed for destruction. So
yeah,
there's a combination.
Yes, it's going to be interesting for me. Like I said, the rehabilitation of Trump, where yes, he did surround himself with some very bizarre characters.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. Cost-wise, I don't know. But that seems to have now not suddenly, but over the last 4 years, kind of transformed into something completely different.
Yeah.
So, someone's going to write something up about that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Care system is now at risk. I think the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk. I
don't know that. I don't understand why that's at risk either.
Yes, because he is now going to be doing all the operations. If you want a hernia operation or a knee replaced, Trump has decided to do them. So yes,
for anyone.
Yeah, I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about
internment camps. I thought you'd like that one, Paul, because I know the Jewish guys out there don't know anything about those.
Nothing. Or the Japanese guys. Oh my God, this is irresponsible to use those words. It's irresponsible until he does it, of course.
Yeah. This
is why I don't like her.
Yeah,
she offends me.
Yeah. Well, that's look, and remember, kids, Disney is paying these people tens of millions of dollars a year to do this show collectively. Easily tens of millions a year. Maybe 100. I have no idea.
They would save a ton of money if they made them all mascots at the park.
Oh, God. Tens of millions a year for this crew on The View. Meanwhile, Disney, who bought out 538 and Nate Silver, got egg on their face last night, big time, because they fired Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen. They got rid of him from being a pollster as part of 538.
And he was the one who was right.
And he was the one who was right. He was the one he...
But they don't want the
Disney.
people. No. But Valiant, they don't want the person who's right. They want the person who can create a set of numbers that fulfills their agenda.
That's it. And he doesn't. And Mark don't do that.
No, Mark don't do that.
No fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
And I make a commitment to...
I think this was a referendum on cultural resentment.
What does that mean?
I could unpack that so many ways. I mean, to me, it's like this is a referendum on cultural resentment.
Cultural resentment.
Yes, this was a referendum in the sense that we resent the culture of Hollywood and the elitists.
Yeah, I could say that.
And you women who sit there and pontificate your bullshit on The View.
Who you calling you women?
Yeah.
Just want to say.
I don't want to misgender anybody.
No, that's right.
But no, this is the point here is that it's like, okay, hey, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to interpret it my way now, right? Because that's what everybody else does. And I'm going to say, you're right. It was a referendum on cultural resentment. We can't stand you. Okay.
To our LGBTQ, to our immigrants, to our elderly,
back it up
cultural resentment in this country. And I make a commitment to our LGBTQ, to our immigrants, to our elderly, to our young girls, to the women, that we will not stop fighting.
We didn't.
It's again, everybody but the men, especially everybody but the white men.
Right.
It's like this is the problem with Disney / Hollywood people like this, is that they're going out there and they're continuing to pit this country against each other.
Yes. Yeah.
They're continuing to force everybody into these little groups of identity politics.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in their movies. It doesn't work in their TV shows. Look at what happened to the Marvel Cinematic Universe after they concluded with Endgame, and they turned it into a social justice experiment. And we're going to have this representation and that representation. We're going to have new gay and lesbian characters, and we're going to have all this kind of stuff. And it's like, look, whether you like it or not, people don't want it. It's not commercially successful. Don't do it. You have a roadmap with something like Marvel and Star Wars. It's easy. Do this. Give people what they want. They're multi-billion-dollar franchises. Nope. Disney's going to Disney. We're going to put this into everything. And right here on The View, talking about the election, it's the same stupid attitude. And that attitude is that America is we're going to still break America into groups, and it's going to be black folks over here and Latino folks over here,
monoliths,
and Muslim folks over here, and then we all have to fight against white male patriarchy.
Right. Yeah.
It's and they still, and what they still don't get is even the day after the election, they don't understand this is why they lost. They don't. You can't tell me that that they actually have any sense in their heads when you've got 45% of Latinos that went for Trump, and you've got or something like that, and then 25% of black men, according to polling data, went for Trump. Y'all best wake up, because the people that you're trying to put into groups and keep stupid so they keep voting for you are waking up. If y'all don't wake up, they're going to keep waking up.
Well, the one
I'm fine with them continuing to wake up.
What they did not mention at all so far is personal responsibility.
Well, that doesn't exist on that side, Paul. You know that.
Tell people who to vote for.
Right.
We just said
to the women that we will not stop fighting.
We didn't tell people who to vote for.
Right.
We just said go out.
We didn't tell people who to vote for. Whoopee.
Whoa.
That would take me. I could sit here and go off for 20 minutes on
No.
that.
I think we know that's a horrendous statement. She cares about women so much that she wants men beating up on women in volleyball games. That's how much she cares about women.
I mean, every day on The View for the last 6 months has been Trump is Hitler.
Yeah.
I mean, but no, we didn't tell you who to vote for. Not at all. We just told you to go out and vote. This lying bitch.
Well, yes, but I did not.
Yeah, I did.
Because I wanted to make sure people exercise that right. Too many people that I know died trying to vote.
Yeah. Right.
Yes,
You know what?
Yeah, you and I got the same face. I'm like, oh, I want to know.
Get to the voting machine. Gotta pull the lever. I
was gonna say,
a sandwich. Can I get a sandwich so I can have enough strength? I'm dying. I'm dying.
Is it because Whoopi's so old? Is
Yes.
that why?
That's right.
It's got to be the only possible reason. I don't know. Is Whoopi like 90 years old now?
What gets me, the exit polls showed, according to our research department here at ABC News,
Disney.
the state of democracy was the top issue to voters overall.
And you guys have been telling people that if Donald Trump got elected, that democracy was going to collapse.
Yeah.
So let's just bear that in mind for a second.
So that says that they voted for a guy who wanted to overthrow the election, who also said he would be a dictator on day one. And they also said that democracy was number one. So I'm concluding that maybe they don't believe him. But I think that means,
No, they don't believe you, stupid. Disney.
It means different things. I think democracy means different things.
It means a different
to different
thing.
people.
Well, when you're trying to overthrow a legitimate election and you say you're going to be a dictator, I don't know how you interpret that any other way.
Democracy.
So I don't know what Trump's quote was from back then. So I can't comment on that. I think he said some pretty outrageous stuff at the last.
He has, but usually here's the thing. It's either always taken out of context completely, or it's completely twisted, or my favorite is he never even said it at all. They just literally make it up.
Frankly. So I can only conclude that they don't believe he's going to do that. I hope they're right. I hope that they are right.
These people are idiots. There's no other way around this. These people are just freaking idiots. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.